We're using DocProtect to demonstrate how you can protect a variety of kinds of documents with different kinds of licenses. We'll start by locating the path to the unprotected document that you want to protect, and then with the options button we'll bring up a dialog that allows you to select what kind of protection you want to apply. For the simplest case, you can just apply a static password that the user would have to enter on first launch, and it'll retain the password thereafter. So we're going to apply that kind of password to the document by clicking the Build Protected Document button, and after a few minutes the protection has been applied and the output file has been generated into the same folder as the original document. And here we can see our protected document here. If we double click the document, it pops up a dialog asking for the password. We'll enter the password, and then the protected document is now being displayed. Each launch thereafter, the document is just automatically displayed. You can also use drag and drop to apply protection to a document, and at the same time, if you want to give the document a unique icon, you can put that icon with the same base name in the same folder as the unprotected document. So we just drag and drop it onto the DocProtect application icon. In this case, we have previously configured, again, a static password of test2. So that's the kind of password it applied when it generated the protected document. And here we can see we have a protected document with the icon applied. If we double click it, we'll get the dialog asking for the password, and we'll enter that password, and then our protected document will be presented. In this case, we have a PDF document where features like saving or exporting the document are removed, so the user can view the document but not share it with other users on other computers. It can only be used on the computer on which it's been activated. Now we'll show how you can protect a video kind of document using a computer-specific password. We'll start by choosing a new record within DocProtect where we're going to set up our information. Just give it a name, select the video that we want to protect, and we'll also select an icon that we want to apply to that video. Now we're going to set it up to be a computer-specific password, and once it's been activated, it will be good forever and run on that computer. So we'll go ahead and protect the video. This will take a few moments, and then a protected version of the video will be output to the same folder since we haven't selected a different output folder. So here's our protected video on first launch. An enter password dialog is presented. Now you can see there's a unique password number that allows the vendor to determine the specific password required for that specific computer. The way the vendor does that is they take and put that password number into the dialog. Click the password button, and there's the unique password that will only work on that computer. So we'll go back to the dialog and enter that password. To understand how the activation process works, let me turn off the volume so you can hear me talking. The video is up and playing. We can resize the video and drag it around on the screen, start and stop the video. Take a look at what's going on. All the basic things you would need in a video player. But the user can only run this video on the computer on which it was licensed for. We'll now demonstrate how you can take a collection of HTML files and build a standalone Mac or Windows application from it. We have a folder of files here, which you can see this is the main HTML file, and it references a bunch of other HTML files, style sheets and image files. We also have an icon that we want to apply to the generated application. So we'll start by launching the DocProtect window. Once it's on the screen, we'll be able to set up a record of information that references the main HTML file that we want to use for this application we're going to build, and then the icon file. We could also apply a license if we wanted to, but in this case we'll just generate an unprotected standard application. So we'll click the Build Protected Document. It'll take a few moments as it's gathering up the files and building it into a standalone application. And we'll go ahead and close DocProtect, and we'll be able to see that we now have an application that launches like any other application that includes all the information that was within that integrated set of HTML files. We can navigate through the links. All that information is embedded within the application, but we can also reference links on web pages that are outside of the application. For example, this link goes to another page within the same application, or we can navigate back. However, this link actually goes to a website which is completely outside of the application, so the application can dynamically change over time if you want to reference pages on a website. DocProtect can be set up to protect a collection of images. In this case, we have a folder where we can see we have a lot of different images, and we want to combine those into an application that can be viewed by the user. So we'll start up DocProtect, and what we're going to do, we're going to select that collection of images. We'll start by getting a new record set up here, and we'll click the image button and collect the set of images that we want to include in our collection. There's various ways. You can click the plus button and then go select each individual image. There's also a way of adding a whole set of images all in one go by just selecting the folder, and that's what we're going to do here. These are all the images that are going to be added to our collection. Okay, there we now have a collection of images, and the user can click through those images once it's built into the protected application to actually view them. You can also set up some specific information about each of those images. For example, if I select one of the images, I can double click it, I can give it a name, a unique password can be assigned, give it a description. I can also hold within the collection both a JPEG and maybe a high quality version of that image that the user could actually purchase. So there's various ways and things that you can configure during this process of setting up your image collection. Let's go ahead and close this image collection, and it's now been added as a path in our main DocProtect window. That's the path to the actual collection that was generated into the folder once we built it with this image button. And we can go ahead and build it into a protected application now, and if we wanted to, we could actually apply a license of some sort to that application. But we'll skip that part and just go ahead and build the we'll build the application that holds the image collection. And we've now done that, so we can close out of DocProtect and take a look at what the runtime version of this image collection would be. Of course, we could apply our own icon during the same process like we have done in other videos. Okay, here's the collection that the user would actually see. They can navigate through the collection, they can click one of the buttons, and whatever information we've entered, like a description, its name, whatever would be presented. The user would have the ability to click a buy button, which would take them to a URL on your website, maybe buy the image, receive a password that will allow them to unlock it, and they export the original full density image file that they could use. DocProtect can be used standalone or in conjunction with the Quick License tool for configuring a wide variety of license types, features, and activation processes. We've already configured a license and generated a tiny encrypted ticket file using Quick License, and that license is actually going to use an online activation server, in this case the Safe Activation Service. So we're going to bring up the DocProtect window. Here's the document we're going to protect. In this case, it's an image collection. We're going to apply a unique icon. We've selected the ticket that defines the license and a few other bits of information, and we're now ready to build a protected document. After a few moments, the protected document will be output to the same folder since we haven't selected a different output folder. And here we can see our protected document. On first launch, the activation dialog is presented, and it's requesting information from the user to actually activate this application. Now, upon purchase, the user will have received a serial number from the vendor, so the user will enter that serial number into the dialog and what other information is being asked for. And then click Activate Now. That information is sent to the online activation service. It's been activated successfully, and now we can see our protected document is up and running. Each launch thereafter, it just automatically runs, but can only run on this computer on which it was licensed. We've seen how DocProtect can be used to protect PDF files, video and audio files, build a standalone application from a collection of HTML files, or collect together a set of images into a collection that can be presented with a single application where the user can peruse through that application, select individual images to view, export them, or actually you can password protect individual images so they can be sold individually. You can also use DocProtect to protect Excel spreadsheets, or take like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint and a variety of other applications can be exported as a PDF file that can be protected. In the case of PowerPoint, you can actually export a playable movie of the PowerPoint presentation that can then be protected with DocProtect. DocProtect can be used standalone or in conjunction with Quick License, which essentially opens up a whole world of possibilities of different license types, customizations, features, within those license types, like releasing a license and restoring a license so it can bounce around between different computers, and allow you to implement things like floating licenses, subscription services, and a variety of other ways of delivering your documents.